Welcome back to chapter 2, our next episode of Through It All. I'm the wife,
I'm the husband.
and this is where we talk about our relationship, the real parts, not the stuff you see on the highlight reels. You know, we've been through a lot together. We've been through love, loss, addiction, and even separation. And somehow we managed to still be here. So we're kind of just touching base on...
Because I'm the glue. You're the scissors.
Okay. We wanted to kind of start this series, just kind of being honest with you guys on what it took to rebuild our relationship, especially when things got messy, and how we continue to fight to be here. And, we just kind of want to take it way back to the very beginning. And
Okay, you ready for prompt 1?
yes.
Do you remember the first time we met?
I think the first time we met was... I think I was just kept coming into your class to get homework done. Yeah, we had a computer teacher, and I always had my friend come with me because we had the period before you. We always came in, and it took one time for you to stand up behind me and surprise me, and that was we talked, but we were already kind of texting throughout. But I think that was the first time we met in person for ourselves. What people call it? A thing? We were a thing?
A fling?
Fling?
What did you think of me at first?
At first, when I first saw you with my own eyes during a drop off during the school bus loop.
Other than the other time coming into class?
Yeah. This is way before when my cousin used to like you. When we would drop off the high schoolers and I was going back to the middle school, I used to see you sitting out there with your hands on your backpack. I was like, oh, he's cool. He's waiting for his friends. I just thought you were super, super cool with your glasses on. But then when I actually started talking to you with our intentions, I thought you were super sweet. You were genuine. I didn't think I had anything negative to say about you. She had a pretty smile, pretty teeth, and you were just super nice.
No red flags?
There were some red flags. There was red flags when it came to sometimes how you would dress. He was the kid who would show up in not every day, but he would show up in button up shirts, sometimes a tie or the suspenders, or he went through that goofy glasses phase with no lenses. That was a thing back then, but
it fit
for you. But that was kind of a red flag, and it wasn't a bad red flag, but I was I don't want to scold. Why are you trying too hard? Give me a lucky if I could dress. I think the only red flag I had was when your now ex got into the picture, and I would message her for you because she was a little obsessive, and I would be like, "Well, pump the brakes. He don't want you. Chill out." Da, 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 da. But that wasn't a red flag then, but it's red flag now to me.
My dress, my button-up shirts, my glasses, my suspenders.
I will say there's a place and a time for it. You looked good in it, but at school, I just didn't.
I took school seriously.
Yeah.
School, not Post Falls High School, seriously. Let's throw that out there.
Okay. Prom, homecoming, he looked sharp.
I had teachers I had to impress.
But just waking up and going to school, I was like, that's a little too much. That's a little different.
All right, now the emotions.
Okay. I think we fell in love really quick.
Speak for yourself.
I fell in love really quick. But learning how to love each other, I feel like took us years. What made you want to try so hard for me? Especially me playing super hard again.
When I knew you had the same traumas and current situations going on that I had. When I saw that you were like you know how when you go paint, when we did our paintings, and before you paint, you obviously look at it and you try and draw up what you're going to paint on the post or on the canvas. That's how I saw you, as like a blank canvas. But there's so many ways that you can paint this picture, and it's either going to come out as you like it or you don't.
Okay.
But also in painting the picture, it also mattered on how much effort and time that you were going to put into making this picture look really, really good. So when I saw that you had the same scribble marks and erasers and redos and re-scratches, and I was like, okay, like, you've obviously, one, been drugged through the mud, inside family, outside family, and you just want to, you knew how to be yourself, but you didn't know how to be yourself, which also was me. I didn't know how to be okay with who I was, but also still look to find myself. When we used to go out to Red Robin, I think I've told you this over and over and over. You throw your hair up in a bun. You would not care how messy your face got eating a hamburger. There'd be sauce running down the side of your mouth. You'd have sauce running down your fingers, and you just look up at me and be like,
I wasn't that girl. Okay. I'm not a pig. Let's put it this way. That's what you made me sound like a pig. I just wasn't that girl who was gonna order a fucking freaking side salad. Excuse my language. Side salad and go, no, like, feed me. We're here for a good time.
Yeah, you wouldn't get just a dainty cheeseburger with bacon. No, it was grilled onions, lettuce. If there was pickled sauce, you get pickle sauce, ketchup, campfire sauce. Yeah.
Walk with the extra. Yeah. Anyway.
And then you take your hand, smash the burger, and everything would just come spewing out. And then the minute you seen all that, you put the burger down, pull out your hair tie, you said, dug into the burger.
I could eat. I wasn't gonna shy around it. Which is funny too, because I guess adding on to that, I'm a really like collected person. So like when it came to eating, it was different because I'm not starving myself for nobody. I'm not trying to look pretty for nobody. But like the first time you and I ever went out together, after being boyfriend and girlfriend, what was I? I was shy. I didn't do much. What would we do? We went swimming, right? You picked me up to go swimming.
Yeah, we went to the beach. This was our first like initial like hangout / date / like.
And that's like by ourselves, because we spent like the whole summer with my brother and my best friend, so like we never had alone time.
We're driving, figuring out where to go. I find the spot. I'm like, okay, I can take her down here. I brought lunch, I brought drinks. Let's hang out. So we get down there. I dip in the water. I go swimming. She goes swimming. Nobody said a word. It's quiet. And if you know us, we're pretty quiet people, but it's overly quiet. So get out the water. She's sitting there across from me. I'm sitting right next to her. Ain't nobody said a word. I look over, and she's building rocks. She's building a rock pyramid. Like, okay. I'll just break the ice and be like, why are you building rocks? We could be swimming. She's like, I don't know. I just want to build rocks. I'm like, okay.
No shy.
Did I get the weird girl that builds rocks when we go swimming?
Building rocks was like, you know, when you would stack like the perfect rock on top of each other, like it was like a statue, a tower.
I feel like that was your safe mode. Like, I'm building rocks. If I'm building rocks, it might scare him away.
My problem was, though, my problem. Don't even.
We're not clipping that. That's staying.
I stutter, so you guys will catch on to it. And he makes fun of me every single time. Anywho, my issue is that I am an over observer. And kind of a backstory on that too. I just got out of kind of like a traumatic relationship months prior. And I don't think I was fully healed yet. So I wanted to make sure his intentions were pure, you know. So I felt like, what's that word? Like a defense mechanism was
to build
just
rocks.
Shut up. Like, be present but not be present. And just keep my mind busy, and then you help me find rocks. So we kind of like bonded off of that. You help me find the good ones. We knew what love looked like, but not what it felt like, I think, at that time. Like, the feelings were just not fully there yet. But, like, visually, you could tell we, like, really cared for each other and started to fall in love. We've already said this kind of in the intro. No one shows the ugly. No one shows real relationship problems. No one shows real, like, day-to-day stuff or talk about the negatives in the relationship, because everyone wants to paint that perfect picture. That kind of brought us to why we wanted to do something like this.
Should we go into our split for the lesson? So our goal is to obviously be honest, not to just give advice, but to share what we've learned during the hard way. Before, I'll just go into it. Before I got with Betty, I had a lot of, I can't really say, or in retrospect, I guess I had dad issues. When I was like 4 years old, my dad was in the military, and we'd have, if your parents are in the military, you know that you have these visits, and each time you pull up to the tent or if you had barracks or on base, you know how the process goes. But you pull in, you're given an ID, you check in, they hook up the computer, and you talk to your mom, your dad, your uncle, whatever. And the only reason why I bring this up is because this day was obviously not the same. We pull up to an airport, and my dad's bawling. And I don't know what's going on. He says he's going on vacation. And then you fast forward to like 3 years later. I call him, and I'm like, hey, where you at? And he gives me a not very mature answer. And so that started with a lot of separation anxiety, and I don't know how else to put it. Like, I blame myself. I blame a lot of people. But then it cultivated into an addiction. I don't even know if I can say it. I don't know if I even get.
We could say.
I guess what they're calling it now is a corn addiction. But that's what I developed. And it was never for the obvious. It was never to get a quick peek or to look or to sneak a look. It was mainly for, I wasn't loved the way that I needed to be loved, and that's where I got it from. Because it was instant. I didn't have to work for it. I didn't have to achieve anything for it. I didn't have to accomplish anything. I could just type in a few words and get whatever I was looking for. And I stuck with it for 13, 14 years for a very long time. And then once I got with Betty, you get in a relationship, you start seeing things and experiencing things, and obviously they're not the same, but you understand your own situation being in a relationship versus watching. And so I had to learn to take away a lot of self-loathing, self-loving when you're in a relationship, and understand that my actions have consequences, and that it's not just not being loved, not looking for gratification, not looking for quick satisfaction. I have to put those aside because I'm in a relationship now. I think my only, point off or spin off is how did you feel at the very beginning? How did you understand that when I explained to you that it's not for just the quick looks, the quick get offs, and I explained to you deeper of why I got into it? How did you understand or go through that or process that?
It's selfish for me to say, but I never cared about why. I never cared about the excuses that came, what I thought were excuses, not obviously they weren't. It took me years to also learn that and figure that part out. But I think, one, I've never had to deal with that kind of addiction. I've never been the person to involve myself in that to begin with. So I couldn't really put myself in your shoes when you would explain that to me or get your point of view, because to me, corn is corn. You know what I mean? One, my past, which I'll touch base on. And two, anybody who is dealing with this, or anybody who doesn't understand why the person's doing what they're doing, all I looked at it as was, you're getting off to somebody else. You're needing a quick satisfaction. One, because either I wasn't doing enough. Two, because I didn't look this way. Three, because this wasn't your fairy tale. Or four, you know what I mean? Like, I say it's selfish, but then I could care less why you were doing it. I could care less what came out of your mouth, because it hurt so bad to know that you had that addiction. Again, when you think about it, corn's corn, so it was really hard for me to understand for quite some time, because a lot of people think it's just an excuse, and that's what I thought it was. How do you put it in a way that doesn't sound as bad as it is? And I thought for the longest time that's what you were doing.
Well, they're all bad. I was just, when I finally came out of it, that's when I started realizing like I never really used it for what it was. I had to understand where the hurt was coming from to get out of where I was, because at some point it corn turns into what it is. Like, you're looking for something, but when you're not using it for that and you're understanding why, in the process of why you're going to it, then you start to look deeper at yourself and you're like, well, why am I doing this? Why do I feel the need to go through this? Am I still hurting? What am I looking for?
And that's not the way I would see it then. And I think that's why it was harder for me to get over it. Because if someone needs to do that, I've never understood it. So when you had a valid feeling and reason behind the actions you were doing, to me, I didn't care. Truly didn't. I would hear you. Did I understand you? No. Did I loosen up on the way I felt? No.
Is that because you had everybody here? Granted, your relationships were rocky, but is it because you think that your life circumstances were different?
No. The big thing is I just have never been in the position that I personally have ever went that route. So I can never bring myself to I have never brought myself to understand you fully. I think because I was more selfishly thinking about the way I was feeling, not the way you were feeling it. It didn't matter if I was here alone. I don't think it would have mattered.
So when did you finally come to an understanding? Not understanding, but like, I don't mean understanding as in like a acceptance or like okay, this is what it's going to take or this is what it's going to be. When did you finally understand that my hurting led to that?
I think there was one argument that kind of opened my eye. Not in like a I get you standpoint, but in a how do I prevent feeling this way to help you? Like, I wanted to help you help me kind of thing. And like I said, it took a certain argument, not to get into crazy details about the argument, but I remember I saw something I didn't want to, brought it up to you, and you weren't honest. So I left it alone. And it took, a couple days until we addressed this situation. But in those days, it was like, why the heck am I putting myself through this if there is a genuine problem with you? Not with you, but like with the situation. Because quite frankly, it's the worst feeling anyone could go into. Not feeling valid or not feeling like enough because someone needs to seek out something else that's not in front of you. And I think that argument was one because your story stuck. Yes, I catch you in lies about seeing or doing something, but your reasoning seemed to always be the same, like a broken record. It wasn't like you were trying to add to it, you were trying to take it away. Like, you're not a very good liar, but that was something that you weren't lying about why you were seeking it. And I feel like after time of you saying the same thing, that made me realize, let me help you while you help me. Never did I accept it, but it took, I guess when I say like the denial of that conversation from you, it took, to me, it was like, you're clearly embarrassed because you're not doing it for the reason I think you're doing it, or I would assume. And you could see it on your face of, like, damn, I got caught. Damn, you know what I mean? Like, something like I could see that. So it made me kind of open up my perspective of it, because we need to help each other. This is not working out. If anyone knows what this kind of addiction can do to somebody, if your partner's doing something like that, the other spouse does not feel good. So of course, I'm not gonna put out. So then that would cause even more tension and even more problems with us, which led to him wanting to go get satisfaction. Not for that reason, but because abandonment, feeling alone, feeling not validated. I wasn't giving him what he needed, reassurance and everything else, because I didn't feel like it, but we were doing it for the wrong reasons. And I've never had to cope somebody through addiction. And when you touch base on like my past and my past relationship, that was the last thing I needed to deal with. So I think it kind of swung my way when I wasn't ready. I think it would have been different if I was at a different place in my life or was healed from past trauma. Maybe it could have been different.
That you were healed from it?
From my past relationship.
That would have made it different?
I feel like it could have. Because of the trauma that it already did to my brain. And I feel like it just opened up another, like, I almost had that wound healed, but then it felt like it was slowly opening back up. And I let it open up without trying to keep it closed. So I feel like it could have been different, or maybe it wouldn't have. Maybe I could have handled it differently.
My situation?
Yeah.
I feel like you could have been more understanding and not in a way of like accepting it, but also, yes, being hard on me, but looking internally.
That's why I say it's selfish of me, because now, you know, we've been able to look at that stuff differently.
Well, yeah.
And it was very selfish of me to not validate what you were saying at all. It's not fair at all. But like I said, then I could care less for your reasoning. Just don't do it. It's not that hard. Kind of going back to like my past. They're not similar, but similar in different ways. I didn't have mom or dad issues, but I had divorced parents just like he did from early on, which my parents' divorce gave me trauma that I don't think I will ever heal from. So kind of going into like our love for myself, I've never seen like true love. I've never seen people who didn't hurt each other and still be together. So my last relationship, which isn't fair to Matthew either, I thought I found love. I was fooled. He fooled the heck out of me. And when you finally put your guard down for somebody and they just take advantage of it, and friends. I mean, it wasn't just one person that hurt me, it was multiple. Jumping into the relationship with Matthew, it just felt different because he was patient. He felt like he wanted to like genuinely get to know me and my heart and not everything else. So I was ready to do it, but I had my guard up with you for a long time too, and I looked at things very surface level with him for the longest time. Like, could we have jumped in too quick? Maybe. Could we have moved in later? Maybe. But I just never gave Matthew benefit of doubt because of what I went through, which isn't fair to him. Everyone's different. I understand that. It was more of, am I going to get hurt again? Or what friend is going to do this to me? Or is Matthew just like every other guy I've ever talked to? So for my aspect of my question for you is knowing what I was coming from, because you even had to deal with a little bit of it, of like showing up to my school and things like that, and knowing the person that I was with. But it took me a long time to put my guard down for you. Why did you keep trying and trying and trying, even though you knew I wasn't giving you benefit of doubt or putting out like I should have? What made you stick through it?
Because if it was easy, it wouldn't be right. If it was easy to fall in love, it wouldn't be right. And sure, some people fall in love easy and they live happily ever after or whatever, or some stories work out, but I guess real, genuine love, if it's easy, it's not going to work. Or it'll work, but it won't be worth it. We knew what we were lacking parent-wise, love-wise, but we didn't know how to give that. But we knew that that's going to take time because that doesn't just come around every so often.
You know, we were together for how long? This year will be 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And our first, probably 3 to 5 years were rough. You know, and then leading up to separation and things like that. We'll touch base in the next episode or two, but
just where we're going for the next 2 episodes. Yeah, gonna be a little heavy, but our intros will always still be a work in progress.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
A work in progress.
100%.
We're like a movie. You watch the intro of a TV show. It's usually awkward, quirky, you're learning everybody. And then you hit the fall off where somebody dies.
You looked. We're proof that love can survive if both of us keep showing up, you know. If I'm not giving my 100%, Matthew's trying to give his 200%, you know, and vice versa. It takes two to tango when it comes to a relationship.
If we really want it, this is what it's going to take to fix it.
Yeah.
If you don't want it, this is what you have to go through by yourself.
You know, if you're in the early stages of your relationship, you still want to enjoy it. You still want to have fun. You still don't overthink the relationship, but also be prepared when the real stuff comes.
Be yourself first.
100%.
Be okay with yourself.
Don't try to fake it till you make it, because true colors will come out.
Don't fart in front of each other in the very beginning. Just poop in the bathroom. Don't go sneak off to the store and go poop.
Yeah, learn from me. Learn from my gut issues now.
Don't drink milk before bed. Come back with some candy if you're going to go to the store.
And I say that because I faked it till I made it. I'd be scared to toot. I'd be scared to poop. I'd be scared to just do anything. So I would always have stomach issues, and that really ruined our relationship in the beginning, because I, shamefully to say, like, it took me years to admit to him, shamefully, how many store runs did I make? How many times did we want a sweet treat? How many times did we run out of something for dinner? I ran to the bathroom at a grocery store because I was shamefully embarrassed to poop in front of you. Not even in front of you, in the same house as you. At this point, guys, we were living together too, and that's the messed up part. I faked it till I made it. And it's really disgusting to think about it, because now I just don't give a damn. Which is disgusting for him, but it's real life. You have to know each other inside and out.
What's something that you would leave? One piece of advice before we go home.
I would say be curious about each other. Don't be critical. Figure out what's next. Figure out who they are. Don't be so quick to judge. Don't be too critical on them. Do not find an egg, figure it out. Because no one's going to be your perfect partner.
So be quirky and curious.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Building onto today, like how things got more real and more serious, and I feel like our problem our relationship was more problematic than it was good at one point. And just and enjoy these moments together. Enjoy it.
Let's go home.
Good night.